In the late 1200s, where to carve his mark into fate, the Mongols crush the east, the Byzantines decay in the west, and the Seljuk Sultanate, once the pride of the Muslim world, has collapsed into powerless fragments. In the muddy borderlands of Anatolia, in the hearts of warriors who yearn for, spares no warrior. As he grows closer to his end, a question unsettles the tribe. Who Osman, drawn by both respect and heart, often seeks his counsel. During one visit, a symbolic dream arrives. Osman dreams of a tree rising from his chest, its rootless, but a pillar of strength. Her wisdom and faith fortify and leadership. Cross the Byzantines, guarded by commanders who hold onto dying power with iron fists. Cities once glorious now struggle with corruption and division. They are not eager to face a rising force in their backyard. Osman's raids and victories send shockwaves through their strongholds. He attacks their forts not for plunder, but for future control. Castles like Kulukhisar fall after his tactical brilliance. Byzantine governors begin plotting to eliminate him. Priests whisper warnings to their emperors. Do not underestimate him, this Turk will not stop. Wolf face Alps and Brotherhood, Osman's loyal warriors. Osman is never alone. Around him are the Alps, elite warriors shaped by loyalty to death. Osman Ghazi, the seasoned warrior who served Ertugrul. Turgut Alp, a fearless fighter wielding the giant battle axe. Bamzi Barak, the legendary protector of the Kayi. Gündüz Bey, Osman's noble brother. Konur Alp, Igul Hatun, Göktürk Alp, and many more. They ride into danger with faith as their armor and Osman as their guide. What makes them powerful is not numbers. It is belief. Warning betrayal within, enemies in the tents. Success breeds envy, strength inspires fear. Certain Turkish Beys whisper against Osman. Some elders blame him for provoking greater threats. Ambition corrupts cousins and so-called allies. Internal betrayal becomes more dangerous than foreign swords. Osman learns an eternal truth of leadership. Your greatest enemy might sit beside your fire. Suspicion divides families, decisions grow heavier. Every move Osman makes is watched. Yet each betrayal only sharpens his instincts. He becomes wiser, colder, and more determined. Fire war on two fronts, Mongols and Byzantines. An empire does not rise without enemies. Osman faces two giants simultaneously. One, the Mongols, the real rulers of Anatolia, merciless and unstoppable. They demand obedience or destruction. Two, the Byzantines, powerful fortified lords trying to strangle Osman's growth. Either enemy alone is enough to crush a small tribe. Osman fights both. His strategy is unconventional. He uses one enemy to block the other, striking where they are weakest. He bends but never breaks. Mongol commanders underestimate his skill. Byzantine lords misread his ambition. Every time they move to crush him, Osman grows stronger. The first major victories, foundations of a state. Through raids, negotiations, and relentless frontier warfare, Osman begins capturing strategic forts. Each fortress changes the map. Each victory shifts power. Villagers flock to Kayi lands for protection. Trade routes expand under Osman's authority. Justice returns where tyranny once ruled. These conquests mark the beginning of something larger than anyone realizes. A state is forming. Not declared yet. Not recognized yet. But alive. Crescent Moon, a leader chosen by the people. As Ertugrul's health reaches its final chapter, the tribe gathers. It is time to select the next bey. Debates erupt. Alliances collide. Old fears rise. Many elders resist the idea of young Osman's rule. They argue he is reckless and a bringer of calamity. The warriors disagree. The youth disagree. The people disagree. They have seen his courage. They believe his destiny. Ertugrul finally gives his blessing. The Alps roar in support. The decision becomes undeniable. Osman Bey rises as the new leader of the Kayi tribe. The torch has passed. A new era has begun. Collision Declaration of Independence, a silent revolution. Osman's leadership is not merely symbolic. He makes a fateful decision. He will no longer obey Mongol rule. This is treason in the eyes of Anatolian overlords. This is the birth of sovereignty in the eyes of the Kayi. Without formal ceremony, without royal approval, Osman declares the first steps of independence. Every tribe that joins him becomes part of a new political future. No longer the servants of collapsing empires, but builders of something entirely new. Cloud tears and blood, the cost of a dream. Freedom requires sacrifice. Osman loses his beloved Alps on the battlefield. Betrayers sabotage victories from within. Women and children suffer during sieges. Hard winters steal lives. Families mourn without end. Yet with every hardship, loyalty hardens. Grief turns to resolve. The Kayi do not bow. They rise. Clapperboard. End of Part 1. Narrator. A small tribe stands against brutal empires. A young warrior defies the fate forced upon his people. And a dream whispers through every battle. From these plains, a new nation will rise. Osman has begun laying the first stones of a future empire. But the greatest battles still wait beyond the horizon. Enemies gather. Allies tremble. History prepares its ink. This story is far from over. Osman Bey has risen as the leader of the Kayi. His strength is recognized by loyal warriors and feared by enemies. The fires of independence have been ignited, yet the dream of a state remains only a spark. The frontier demands sacrifice. Empires do not fall with one battle. The next chapter of Osman's struggle will test his vision, his faith, and the very soul of his people. History never gifts freedom. It must be earned. Bow and arrow, the frontier wars intensify. Osman's early victories do not intimidate the Byzantines enough to surrender. They see him as a rebel chieftain, someone who must be crushed before his ambitions spread. The border region of Bithynia becomes a battlefield. Fortresses such as Kuruluş are only the beginning. Byzantine governors send more troops from larger castles deeper inland. Warriors from the empire are better equipped and more numerous. Yet Osman possesses something they lack. He has a cause worth dying for. Osman adopts a strategy shaped by mobility. He fights like a wolf on the wind, quick strikes, disappearing into the forests, controlling mountain passes, cutting off supply lines. Frontier warfare becomes his classroom and every victory his diploma. The Byzantines soon realize Osman is not a passing irritation. He is a growing threat to their entire western dominion. Diplomacy of a rising bey. Conquest alone cannot build a state. Osman understands that he must gather allies. He begins reaching out to neighboring Turkic tribes, border Ghazis, and leaders who still cling to the hope of Muslim sovereignty. His prestige attracts wandering warriors who search for a righteous commander. Osman offers justice, spoils of war, and a dream, a homeland where they rule themselves. The power of his leadership lies not in fear. The power lies in unity. Formation of alliances signals a turning point. The Byzantines are no longer facing one tribe. They are facing a movement. Hammer economy, trade, and the seeds of a state. War requires strength. Strength requires resources. Osman focuses on controlling valleys and trade routes between Söğüt and the empire's castles. Markets expand under his protection. Farmers, merchants, and blacksmiths feel secure within Kayi lands. Taxes begin to flow. New settlements appear. Villagers willingly pledge loyalty in exchange for peace. Without formal declaration, Osman has created a political structure. Laws guided by Islam are enforced. Judges dispense justice. Leaders are appointed across villages. Step by step, Osman is shaping a nation. Crossed betrayal and tragedy within the tribe. No leader rises without tasting betrayal. Osman's own blood becomes a source of heartbreak. Jealous relatives challenge his authority. Some fear his plans will bring terrible retribution from the Mongols. Osman watches trusted kin turn into enemies. He must choose between mercy and survival. A leader cannot hesitate against treason. Justice becomes personal. Osman stands firm that honor is more important than family ties when a family member becomes corrupt. Losses strike his household. Pain cuts into the tribe. Women and children cry as warriors are buried. Osman knows that every betrayal is a test of resilience. His faith does not shake. His mission does not slow. Fire battle against the Mongol Shad. Mongol pressure intensifies. They cannot accept anyone refusing their authority. Mongol commanders demand tribute. Osman refuses. Mongol armies send punishment. Osman fights. The Mongols were once unstoppable. Their rule now weakens. Osman sees their fear behind their fury. Power is shifting in Anatolia. The Mongol Empire begins collapsing in distant lands. Their grip loosens. Every strike Osman delivers sends a message. The age of Mongol domination is ending. The great fortresses of Byzantium. After dealing with internal threats, Osman turns